Hello and welcome to another instalment of Sketchbook Ramblings. Today we're here at Crown Point, high above Burnley, with Pendle Hill there in the distance, and down into the valley you can see the sprawling metropolis of the town known as Burnley. We're here today to have a little walk, just a short walk from the car park to the structure that you can see in the distance there, known as the Singing Ringing Tree. The Singing Ringing Tree is one of 4 sculptures dotted around East Lancashire that were done in the early 2000s, known as Panopticons. The dictionary description of a panopticon is a circular prison with cells arranged around a central well from which prisoners could be observed at all times. Strangeways in Manchester is an example of a panopticon designed prison. In 1970, a French intellectual and critic known by the name as Foucault expanded the idea of the panopticon into a symbol of social control that expands into everyday life for all citizens and not just the prison system. I wonder if the designers of these sculptures had that in mind when they situated the sculptures in the positions that they did. Most of this one is particularly high up and has views down into Burnley, and as you will see when we get to the sculpture itself, there's some absolutely beautiful views. It's a beautiful sunshiny day, but as you can probably see from the foliage that we've just passed, it's particularly windy. It's particularly windy, and it's not particularly warm, so we're quite well wrapped up with fleeces and coats on, all our equipment in hand, and just wandering along now the footpath to get ourselves settled down and do a bit of sketching and enjoy the view. The Singing Ringing Tree is close to the Dunnockshaw Millennium Wood Forest of the Burnley Restoration Programme. It's on the Pennine Bridleway, and there's lots of walking routes around here. There's a circular route, I think it's about 5 miles long. We're not doing that one today, we're just doing a short walk, as I say, from the car to the Singing Ringing Tree itself, because I want to sit and do a little bit of sketching. A lot of sheep grazing land up here. We're quite high up on the moors. The paths here, I would recommend good strong walking boots if you're going to come up and have a walk. It's a bit slippy underfoot. And here we're just looking at the cotton plants on the hillside. The funny story, when my niece, who's now a young adult, chemtrails, who's a young adult, was just 4 or 5, we used to pull her leg and say that this is where the farmer grew his lambs, and that these were all baby lambs and they were going to grow up into sheep, and this is what the sheep farmer did. Quite funny, she believed it for quite a number of years. And here I am just setting up now with my sketchbook. This is the Talon's Art Creations that I've pre-prepared some pages, and with blue watercolour. I'm just getting a few bits and pieces out. I've got some Caran d'Ache Neocolour 2s, Tombows, a few more materials than I usually take out with me, because I was going to spend a little longer here. If you stick with the video through to the end of the sketching session, you'll see the actual structure in its entirety, and then you can judge for yourself whether I've managed to capture any of its likeness. I'm not heading for a photorealistic picture. That's not my aim. I just wanted to capture the shape of it and the landscape around it. I'm going to start off here with a Derwent watercolour pencil in black. Needs sharpening. A good old trusty sharpener. As you can see, it is cold and I'm wrapped up in my my puffer coat. I'm just going to start sketching out the shape, starting at the bottom with the plinth. This Panopticon, as I said, is one of 4, and it was designed by Anna Louis. I think I've spelt that right, said that right. It's spelled L-I-U, and Mike Tonkin. And it's a unique musical sculpture which overlooks Burnley from its high position above Crown Point. It was placed here in 2006 and as part of one of the 21st century landmarks as a symbol of renaissance of the area by the East Lancs Environmental Arts Network. It won in 2007 a National Award for Architectural Excellence for the Royal Institute of British Architects. It's constructed from pipes of galvanised steel laid and layered up in layers. It's 3 meters tall, or if you're still in old money, that's 10 feet. It's got a range of several octaves as it's a musical sculpture, and the pipes are formed to achieve the different levels of octaves by tuning the pipes according to length and adding holes to the underside of each pipe. And although it's very windy today, I didn't hear anything musical other than the wind blasting through the tubes and making such a racket. There was nothing musical about it. I'm sure the wind must have to blow in a certain direction. So as you can see here, I'm just jotting in the lines, trying to do the outline. And at the end of this clip, you'll see the end product. You haven't got the whole sketching process. I didn't think it'd be I didn't think it'd be that interesting, to be fair. But I just wanted to get in a sense of how I set up and how I get started with a sketch. I don't want photorealism. That's not my aim. I haven't got the skill level at the moment to even try to capture it. Coming up now is what I've produced. I'm quite happy with that. Again, no Rembrandt. And here's Old Faithful, my little A5 sketchbook that comes everywhere with me. Thought we'd have another attempt in here. No prepared pages in this book, and starting with a fine liner this time. And now seeing if starting from the top of the sculpture makes any difference to trying to catch the twist. The things that I'm learning from these sketchbook rambles are that there's lots of different challenges in things to draw, paint and sketch, and I'm finding that quite exciting and challenging. And that was my aim at the start of these sketchbook ramblings, was to try and improve my skill level, but to put myself out there and challenge. Also, there's no pressure. It's, as I've mentioned before in previous sketchbook ramblings, it's my form of meditation. It's what I like to do to relax, and it doesn't matter if I get it wrong. I like to draw. I like to get outside, and I like to share with other people my philosophy of just get out and give it a go. And that's what I'm doing. I hope you stay around to the end of the sketching session so you get a good view of what it is that I'm trying to draw, and some nice artistic shots of the Panopticon looking over the vista and down into Burnley and beyond. And if these sketchbook ramblings encourage you to get outside and take your sketchbook with you, then all power to your elbow. Because that's what it's all about. It's about getting out and just giving it a go. And I would encourage anybody to do that. I'm going to put drop a couple of pictures in at the end, just to show you what what this looks like, because I won't bore you with the entire sketching process. Plus I think my camera cuts off at some point, so we don't actually get it all, if truth be known. I wonder if anybody watching has been to Crown Point, to the Singing Ringing Tree, and seen it. If you have, drop a comment down below and let me know. Before the Singing Ringing Tree was here, the only Singing Ringing Tree I'd ever heard about was the children's TV programme in the 1980s, the Czechoslovakian TV programme with the evil dwarf and the grumpy princess and the very, very large goldfish. Does anybody remember that? Or was I just having a horrid nightmare at some point? Please drop a comment down below and tell me that I wasn't having a horrid nightmare and it was on TV. I'm just adding a bit of colour here now with the Neocolor 2s. This is the first time I've taken these out sketching with me, so you'll see the photographs that I drop in and what the results are with them in the background. Tell me what you think. No Rembrandt, I know, but that was my best attempt at this. This is the Singing Ringing Tree in all its glory. Look at those views. Absolutely fantastic. Splendid view out over the moors there. I'm just going to take you around it now and show you what the structure looks like close up. Hope you enjoy. You get closer to the tubes and get some shots through the tubes. Looking down through the tubes in an artistic manner. And as we come round the side, you'll be able to see the table in a minute, the picnic table where I was standing and attempting to draw. You can see the twist that I was trying to capture. I don't think it's an easy thing to draw at my skill level, but I gave it a go. The industrial style of it on the countryside landscape is quite a juxtaposition, really, but stunning nonetheless. The steel pipes against the blue sky there, it's lovely, quite artistic. I think it would lend itself quite nicely to an abstract painting. Here we go again, another view down into Burnley and beyond. And again, I find myself in sheep grazing country. We seem to have a lot of that up here in East Lancashire. But not a sheep in sight today. No Barbara. Oh well. Back round to the tubes. If you're enjoying these videos, these sketchbook ramblings, please give us a thumbs up and a like and let me know that it's the sort of videos that you want to see. I enjoy doing them. I hope you enjoy watching them. And if you do enjoy them and you want some more, it might be a nice idea for you to subscribe. It is free. And maybe share with your friends and encourage them to have a look. It might encourage you and your friends to get out and do some sketchbook rambling. So bye for now. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.